with the amazing, the beautiful Latanya Godfrey and Maurice Godfrey. Welcome to Style by Stevie. It is such a pleasure to have y'all both here. And it is Motivation Monday. So before we kick off this interview, to both of you, how has 2026 been for you thus far? Ladies first, starting with Latanya, Maurice.
2026, let's see. It's been a little crazy. I lost my mom a couple weeks ago, but you know what? God is good. We continue to be blessed. We are going forward. So I am happy about Maurice's career and what we continue to keep doing with that. So we're good. I'm doing good. I'm motivated today.
Yes, 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 all the time.
Yeah. hmm
What
And for you,
Maurice, what you
Maurice, how has 2026 been for you?
Um. Well, besides like the passing of my mother-in-law, man, it just it's been kind of
My
crazy at times,
condolences.
and
Yes.
yeah, it's just with that, and just man, auditions keep coming in, and I'm taking them and doing them and turning them in, and if I book, I book. I don't, I don't. It's just a constant grind, man. Ever since January came on in, so just keep going, man. That's all I've been doing, and still riding the success of Angel and Demon.
Yes, and congratulations to your success. And I
Thank
went
you,
through and I'm
thank
looking at my cards here. Atlanta based, and baby, they call you the Black Harrison Ford. We'll get into that later in the show.
you. Okay.
And you've done BMF, you've done Atlanta
Yes.
Playboy, you've done one of my favorite shows, Fatal Attraction, and that is a
Yes.
show that that covers black crime stories. We really don't see a
Yes.
whole lot of shows that cover relationship-based crimes where the couples are doing
Mhm.
it together. And shows like For My Man, so many others. We'll get into that as well too. Shout outs to you, Chef Sky. Hey girl, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I hope y'all are doing as awesome as I am. And we not only have Maurice, but his beautiful wife, Latanya. So we'll be getting to a little girl chat in this interview as well, too, in this chat. But let's start from the beginning, Maurice, your journey. Who was it? Because there's always got to be somebody who's motivated us to get into the business. Who was it for you that you saw on television? I know for me, and I'm pretty sure Latanya can attest to this, for us growing up as black women in the household, we either
Yes.
wanted to be, for me, it was Felicia Rashad,
Mm-hmm.
hands down,
Yep.
Claire Huxtable. It was
Beautiful.
her, and it was the another for me would be Whitney Houston. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, these women are absolutely gorgeous. I want to do what they're doing. I want to be in that field somewhere. It's got to be something. So for you, who was it,
All right.
Maurice? And let's tell you, and then you go.
Um, I have a couple of inspirations, but the main one was Harrison Ford when I was a kid, because back in the 80s they used to play Indiana Jones in syndication on Cinemax every Wednesday, and so I would watch Indiana Jones. I would watch it every time it came on because I like Harrison Ford. I said, Mama, I like that guy. And so I told my mother, I said, I want to do what he's doing. And ever since 1984, man, when I seen him, I was like, I want to do what he's doing and I want to get in the TV or whatever. I told my mother that. My mother said, well, boy, you got to go to school and, you know, and go, you got to go to school for that. And I said, I'm in school now. So what's the difference? And so looking at Harrison Ford, and so then my mother, I guess when she knew I was kind of serious, she would she would just, she kept she would rent all the movies, she would rent all his movies for me. And my favorite movie that he did was Witness. And
Oh,
yeah, Witness, that right there. He did that movie right there. Witness. Oh my God. I fell in love with that movie. I still watch to this day. And I always wanted to play a cop. And so I emulated my style from John Book to my own style, Maurice Godfrey, that's me. And I never gave up, man. I mean, and just Harrison Ford. And then my other inspiration is Ron Simmons, first black WCW wrestling champion of the world. Because everybody know I'm a big wrestling fan. And when I met Ron Simmons here in Atlanta, I just, he was a personal role model and inspiration to me. When you speak it into existence, it comes into, reality, whatever. And I told my mother I wanted to be an actor and I wanted to be the first one on television. Just like Ron Simmons said, I'm gonna be the first black man to go up there and wear that belt. And when Ron Simmons did that, if he can become the first black champion of a wrestling promotion, then I could be the first one on TV out of my family as a successful actor and be successful with it, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Miss Stevie.
Yeah. Now for me, let's see. So I'm old school. I'm old girl. So I love Mahogany. I grew up, in that era with Billy D. Williams. Mahogany is one of my favorite movies. So love Diana Ross. That was like somebody that I loved because she was classy, from the designs of the costumes to the grace, the music. I'm a music girl. So her, and then Diane Carroll when she played Claudine. I'm old, so that I go way back, so I'm into the Glass Knight and the Pips, that those songs, those ladies were class and grace, you know what I mean? That's where I am.
The reason why I dropped my cards and I set my cards down because y'all know that I am the biggest Diana Ross stan here on my show. Y'all know
Really?
she's inspired a
Mm.
lot of the fashion choices. And you mentioned
Oh
Diane
wow.
Carroll, who's another one of my fashion inspirations. You said Claudine, but I'm gonna go to Dynasty, baby. The champagne is
Yes,
burnt.
yes, yes.
Dominique Devereaux was the
Yes,
truth.
absolutely,
Y'all have
absolutely.
seen, and she was such a beautiful black woman,
Yes,
and she
yes.
showed representation. And for me, if you want to go back as well too, you said, oh, because my father brought me up on the black exploitation era.
Oh
So if
yeah,
we're talking of women, black women who paved the way for each and every one of us, myself and Latanya here, I would say Pam Grier.
oh yeah,
It's a
absolutely,
little bit of Foxy Brown in all of us. So it was Pam Grier.
absolutely,
It was
absolutely.
Friday Fox,
Yep,
and then you have Mahogany as well too, which was such the 70s, that
yep,
era of films for us as black people. The black exploitation era really kicked
yep,
open a door like none other, that we could see the
absolutely,
representation we wanted to see on television because it was very
absolutely.
far and in between for us as
Yeah,
brown girls and brown
yeah,
boys and
yep,
breaking into the business. So
absolutely.
definitely, shout out to my girl, Faith is the Substance. We are here with the beautiful Latanya Godfrey and Maurice Godfrey, and we are just talking about how important representation is in the entertainment business and the aspect of being black actors, black creatives. So growing up, and y'all remember what it was like. My mom has
Yeah.
told me, what it's like to have to turn on the television. You'd have to get that antenna. I think it was one of the Jackson brothers because they did the Michael Jackson film, which will be dropping April 24th. And one of them,
Yes,
I think it was
exactly.
Jack, said, the television, we had to put the fall at the top of the TV because,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
what we had to do so that we'd be able to see some sort of
Television.
representation in our households. And it's key and important. That messaging. Shout outs to each and every one of y'all. While my granddad is sending you my love, Miriam, sending you my love, baby. Yes, and praying, sending my prayers as well to my healing prayers to each and every one of you. Welcome. Dynasty, yes. Dynasty, don't sleep on Dynasty. Dominique Devereaux, baby, she came in with her
Yes,
fur. Her and Joan, Joan Collins, they had their exchange as well. And Alexis, the character that Joan played was
yes,
Alexis,
yes,
Alexis Kennedy.
yes.
Hmm.
Alexis Carrington.
So
Yep,
she
yep.
came in with her furs, said, I don't sleep in my clothes, neither do I wear them. I prefer, to have a room for my wardrobe. She was very particular. And then you see her fast forward in a different world, which was going to be my question for both of you, Maurice and Latanya. How important was shows like A Different World growing up for us? Because they're now coming out with a reboot. I don't know if y'all are aware. They're doing press
Yes,
for it and everything.
yeah. So we were trying to give Maurice some auditions for that, but yeah, um, I always wanted to go to a HBCU. I ended up going to a predominantly white university. But just to see that, I grew up. I was a little bit older when that came out, but to be able to see us like Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show, Felicia Rashad, we never saw a lawyer, a black lawyer, female, and a black doctor. They were married and they had kids. They were successful. That was the first time seeing that in the 80s. That made us to aspire to want to be more for ourselves, and
Hmm.
then seeing the Whitley Gilberts, the Dwayne Waynes, like it was just, it was amazing. So that time was just great, and to see them, Debbie Allen coming back and directing again, and coming back to do that again. My daughter is 25, so to have that for her age group is fantastic. So it was very encouraging for me. Dwayne Wayne was a mathematician, so I went to school and I majored in engineering. So those kind of things really helped me to see that I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Absolutely. And Maurice, shout outs to my colleague Alvin Tit for this and that. He said his son went to an historically black college and university. And shows
Hmm.
like that for us growing up, if you've attended a historically black college and university, it's very popular now for the next generation, as Latanya just said, that is coming up because
Hmm.
Tashina Arnold, you guys know her as
Yeah.
Pam on Martin, her daughter
Yeah.
Elijah is gonna be in
Yep,
the show. And I think she's
she
also
sure
gonna be
is.
in the
Yep,
show herself.
Hmm.
yep,
Yes.
yep. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes, 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 most definitely. But watching Bill, like she said, to piggyback off her, but watching shows like that, it just really inspired me as well that you can be successful in anything that you put your mind to and you really focus and engage on it and keep your focus. And to see a black family successful, man, I mean, that was awesome to watch on television, as well as to see what kids do in college. That also was the inspiration, watching a different world, man, kind of like what really goes on in college, man. So to really see that, man, it was just very uplifting and encouraging that I'm gonna go to college, and if I put my mind to it to be a doctor, then I can achieve it. But I wanted to be an actor, not a doctor, and so far so good. It's just sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's up, man, but you just got to keep your focus and keep on going.
And it's more coming in the horizon for both of you. For both of you, it's more coming in the horizon. We need black filmmakers. Mainly, I'm looking
Absolutely.
at Latanya over here because we know what it's like as black women in this business. We need more black female filmmakers as well, too. So when you
Yeah.
mentioned
Yes,
Debbie Allen, let's not forget that she directed some episodes of Grey's Anatomy as well, too. And
absolutely.
Hmm.
we're seeing an influx. Issa Rae, you've got Shonda Rhimes, you've
Yes,
got don't sleep on Gina Prince Blythewood, Love and Basketball, and she also did The Secret
absolutely.
Lives. So, Latanya, what do you think about the rise of black female filmmakers and how important they are? Lena Waithe, The Shy, so many.
Yes, I love Lena because I think Lena is she has the podcast about the human. She does where she goes back and talks to, older actors and
Yes,
stuff. She had Bill Duke on there. She's had Debbie Allen on there. She's had a bunch of people. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned filmmakers because Nina Stacks is an up and coming. She's been around. She's made about 12 movies, but
Hmm.
Angel and Demon won number one independent Tubi movie for the Ace Honors Awards about 3 weeks ago. And Nina is an amazing director, writer. She's brilliant. I think she's fantastic. She's up and coming. She actually has a show that is on Peacock right now. So it went straight to Peacock. It's called Girls Need Love. It's a series about, matter of fact, it's about young sorority sisters dealing with the struggles and trying to get through, life's challenges with men, relationships, careers. And so she is phenomenal. So I thank God for her putting Maurice in Angel and Demon because she is, an upcoming filmmaker. So shout out to Nina Stacks. I wanted to make sure I gave her flowers.
absolutely. And this is why I created Style by Stevie because I want to make sure that I am highlighting every aspect of black culture because we are pivotal to the culture, to the movement,
Yes.
entertainment, and I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for shows like the NAACP Image Awards that highlight us, that celebrate us. And I was just on the phone with my brother K Tukes. Y'all make sure y'all head on over, subscribe to his channel. We're going to be doing some collabs together. We were talking about the BET Awards and how important these shows that showcase us and highlight our excellence from the Black Filmmaker Awards. It's so many that highlight us. I remember Angela Bassett was on stage and it was Kiki
Yeah,
Palmer, giving her flowers and pouring into her. So we have to make sure that we are doing what is called paying it forward to each other for each and every one of us in the business. And like Maurice just said, it is going to be a little slow or dry spell right there. And I had a conversation not too long ago with actor Tyrone Nathaniel, and he said the same exact thing where for actors, black actors, it's like that little patch. But
Hmm.
that's where you
Yeah.
tap into that creative bag. You start tapping into your writing, your producing, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
so thankful for actors like you said Harrison Ford, but we can't
Yeah.
sleep on Morgan Freeman.
oh
Yeah.
yes,
Joe
Morgan.
Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Mm-hmm.
y'all know about Joe Clark? But
But he called me Crazy Joe,
still,
but now they can call me Batman.
yes, but he's still out here acting. It's just like, and
Yep.
if he was
Hmm.
still here, may God rest his soul. Lou Gossett Jr. is another as well
Yeah.
too. But
Yep.
we have to make sure that we're pouring into our legends. Another would be
Yeah.
Cicely Tyson. If she was here, I mean, she acted all the way up until the year that she passed. So it
Yes,
goes
you
to
did.
show you that we have to make sure that we are creating the spaces for ourselves and other filmmakers that are coming up right after us. And I hate when people look down when, back to Latanya's point, Tubi. Oh, I don't want to be on. But guess what? Independent. What's wrong with
Yep.
being an independent black filmmaker and having your own creative and vision? And the Spike Lee, who is the GOAT of filmmaking, created his company. What was it?
Hmm.
I think it's 40 Acres and a Mule.
40 acres
But
in a mule. Yeah. 40 acres in a mule.
yes, yes, you
Yep.
have to be able to start from somewhere. And that's the
Yes.
vision. So Latanya, what do you think about the next gen that is coming up after the Spike Lees and the Lenas?
And you know what, interesting you say about Tubi, you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
And there are so many actors
It's
that, started out on Tubi. As a matter of fact, I think his name is Sean Freeman. He had several movies that were on Tubi, and now he's on Beyond the Gates. Like, people, Tubi is just another platform. I think it's actually owned by one of the major, conglomerates. And again, we love good movies, no matter if it's on Tubi, Paramount, Hulu, whatever. There are some great movies that I've seen on Tubi, and there aren't Tubi actors; they're actors. They just happen to be on Tubi. And so I want people to understand that it's not Tubi actors; they're actors. They're working hard, they're grinding, and they go on to do bigger and better things. But you have to start somewhere. And again, it's easier to get your movie on Tubi than it is to get it on Netflix. I think you have to have like a $5 million budget to even get a movie on Netflix to get for them to even consider it. And this generation, they do a lot of content creation, the podcasts. I mean, they've learned
yes,
that you have to create your own content. If you aren't getting the work, if the auditions are coming in, you're not getting booked, create your own content. Do a movie for yourself. Put together a script, ship it out. Like you can do your own work. It's not just about being in front of the camera. You can be behind the camera, producing, casting. It's so many opportunities now, especially here in Atlanta. They still do about 30 productions a month. So it's a lot of work out here. And there's, even sometimes if it's not paid, to get your foot in the door, to get your face on the screen, do the work. Take the classes, make sure you're taking acting classes. That's so important, but do the work.
girl, that part. And to what my girl Faith just said as well too. Both of you ladies are right, which is don't hate on Tubi. I interview some great Tubi actors and directors.
Oh,
Yes, and
absolutely.
I have a filmmaker. She's coming on tomorrow, Candice Renee, and black woman Latanya. She's producing, she's directing. It's not very often, and at a time where everything is so male dominated, we are
Yes.
now seeing women saying, "Hey, I'm calling the shots." So when I look at Shonda Rhimes, Debbie Allen, I'm looking
Yep.
at uh, Regina King is also behind the lens as well too. She's not
Absolutely.
just in front of them, but we're seeing them take control of the narrative. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Latanya.
No, that was perfect. Regina King, she directed some parts of Southland. She also had a
A
Netflix
man in
special,
full. A man apart.
A Man in Full,
Yeah.
that she directed those episodes on there. Maurice did background for that, and she was directing that. So, we are a lot of us, are going behind the scenes, and then to, talking back to Maurice's career, we went to Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta about 3.5 years, and so I have an engineering background, but I also went to school again, how we do as women, and I got an MBA. So business is business to me. So I said, if I can understand the business of engineering, I can understand the business of acting. So when we got here, I was like, Maurice, you have the look, but the acting ability has to match the look. So classes, classes, classes. We're in still in classes, one-on-one coaching, mentoring, and we didn't have an agent right away. I was the agent. I was on Actors Access, still am, 6, 7 times a day, looking for work. His agent also submits him, but I submit him too. There's things that she sees that I can't see. But, he's been very fortunate because you have to do the work. You got to just get in there. He's done lots of free stuff. he did 2 years of background. Maurice is on everything Tyler Perry has background. And I said, but now you've learned how things are. He was a stand-in. He's done stand-in for Michael Jai White. He's been a stand-in for BMF. He's done a lot of that. So now you did the work. So now let's see if we can get the opportunities now. So now he's getting the auditions for the Reasonable Doubts, the Will Trent. Tyler Perry had an audition for that he did for his new Netflix show coming out about the firemen, where there's smoke. So, it gets discouraging though, because he had about, 300 auditions last year. He booked about 5%. So maybe 10 of those he got out of the 300. But at the end of the day, it's about the work. You consistently show up, you do the work. The casting directors see who you are. If you keep doing quality work, presenting quality auditions, eventually it will catch. So we just have to keep pushing and, just keep pushing forward. That's all we can do. But I'll let him talk too. I don't want to take over your interview.
I mean, just like she said, man, it's work, man. I mean, this stuff is not easy. It takes a lot of, a lot of resiliency, and you got to keep on going, even though you get frustrated. Because me and her have been frustrated as hell sometimes because it's hard, and then you got to worry about gatekeepers and all this stuff, man. But you know what? I just said what a God I believe in, and that's why I don't get wrapped up in people. I cannot. I got to keep my eyes toward God, keep doing the work, keep taking, my acting classes, and keep, getting coached by my man Carl Kennedy. And that's what I'm gonna
Oh
keep
yeah.
on doing, man. And eventually, I'm gonna land something. I don't know what, but I'm gonna just keep on pushing. And big ups and thank God for Nina Stacks, who sees something in Maurice that she likes, and she keeps using me. Rather, I've been through 100 auditions and ain't nobody using Maurice and ain't booking Maurice. So thank God for Nina and praise God for Nina. But everybody else, I'm gonna keep on moving because the business is frustrating. And one thing about it, I'm not gonna shortchange myself, and I'm not gonna keep on. I'm to the point now. I'm not gonna work for free no more because I got bills in my house. And if you're not booking me and paying Maurice, I'm gonna keep on going where the work is and who pays me and who keeps my face out there, and that's Nina Stacks and nobody else. That's what I feel. Sometimes my frustration comes out because a lot of these directors is who knows who, who's friends with who, and some of the times the people that they book, they can't act worth a damn. And I'm putting my work in and I'm working my ass off. So eventually it's gonna catch. But that's why, like I said, I rock with whoever rocks with me. That's who I rock with, and that's been Nina Stacks and Jupiter Entertainment, and really nobody else at times. And that's what I feel. So thank God for Nina Stacks, and who want to work with Maurice, you better come business and correct, and that's it. And I mean that. Sorry, a little bit of,
And
yeah. Hmm.
go,
Yeah, because I
yeah,
mean,
and I feel you. Even for me. Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Maurice. Go
Hmm.
ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, because sometimes I think Atlanta is very cliquish. It's who knows who and who's friends with who and who's kissing who's behind, and I'm not doing all that. I'm an actor. I'm paying my dues, and as far as I go, I'm a quiet person. I'm just, hey, I'm ready to do my job, film, and keep it moving. And that's it, man. That's all I'm gonna do. But like I said, Nina is family now. I love Nina, and hey, that's what it is. And Jupiter Entertainment, Chad, and what's her name? Amber. The ones that keep on booking me. Those are the ones I rock with, and I appreciate that. Hmm.
And not only just that, but I love the dynamic that you and your wife, Latanya, have. Y'all are working together as a team,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
and we barely see that in business. And again, I'm gonna say this because I know Latanya know where I'm gonna go. It's nothing like a black woman standing right beside her man,
Oh
and
no.
and not just that, but
Yeah.
making sure that absolutely everything is in order. And that's the power of us as black women, that we find that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Hmm.
Mhm.
does that so excellent.
And it's,
So
and
kudos to
as you
both of
thank you. And as you, Maurice, again, he's doing the work. He's the actor. I'm just in the background. But it gets frustrating. But like I keep telling him, we've been at this for 3.5 years, and you've done some quality stuff. You've, you've done a SAG movie. He did Not Another Church movie that had, a bunch of actors in it. And so he's doing really well, but you're right, it's a team effort.
Yes, it
At
is.
the end of the day, he was like, "Hey, I want to be an actor." I was like, "Okay, if you want to be an actor." We sold our house in Kansas City, Missouri, moved to Atlanta, like I said, 3.5 years ago. And I said, it's going to
Wow.
be one of the hardest things you've ever done in your life. And it is. It's a challenge. It's a lot of work. I still work full time. Come home. We're doing auditions. He's taking classes. It's an expensive business. You got to have headshots. You got to have
Yeah.
acting reels done. You have to have it's just a lot that goes into this. Sometimes he'll get 6 or 7 or 8 auditions a week, and they take time to do. You got to edit them, you got to upload. They want certain things, certain CDs want certain things a specific way. But we're in this together. I'm like, there that we don't have an option B. There is no option B. So we're in this to get the work done. And like I said, eventually it's gonna happen. He keeps doing the work, keep showing up, keep doing quality auditions, and it'll happen. So
Absolutely. And Nina Stacks, shout outs to her again for giving you
Yeah.
that opportunity, that
absolutely.
vision. It's another female filmmaker that I want you guys to check out, and definitely she'll be coming on the show later this month.
Okay.
She did a film called Karma in Heels, and her name is
What's her name?
Kendra Rainey King.
I know exactly who that is. I
Kendra
think I've
Rainey.
submitted to her. Yeah, she actually Taylor Latham, who stars as Demon in Angel and Demon, is in her movie coming up. He is actually starring in one of her movies.
Yeah,
Yes. I follow her. She's gorgeous. Yes. I definitely know who you're talking about. Is she in Texas? I think she's in
I
Texas.
think so. I think she's in Texas, and she's
Yeah.
coming on the show. Yes, breaking news, you guys. Kendra Rainey King is coming, and Latanya, when I tell you she's just like you, she
Ah,
is about her
Hmm.
business. Black women are not playing. We're not playing in
no. No.
2026. She
No,
is
she's bringing
about
it.
her
Yep.
business.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely looked her up. I was like, Maurice, we need to send her your audition tapes. You can audition for her in the future. But yep, most definitely. Most definitely. And thank you for this opportunity for him to be able to come on here and showcase what he's doing, what he's done. We really appreciate what you're doing, girl. And you look fantastic, by the way. That hair is tea.
No. They told me he
Oh.
was like, she's look shy. I said, tell her to put on some makeup, put on a little bit of glam. Come on, she's beautiful. Come on in
Yeah,
this interview.
look, we had to pull over. Like, we had herb and stop. We in the car. Like I said, we're here in Missouri, but we'll be back in Georgia in a couple of days. But yeah, we just don't want to thank you so much for this opportunity. So we really appreciate that.
You are so welcome. And yes, thank you, Faith. She said, make sure you reach out to filmmaker Silk White. He's another dope one as well, too.
Maurice has actually worked for Silk White. Maurice did not Tears of a Hustler. What did you do? You did something for. He's worked for Silk White, Leo Sullivan. He's done background. He's auditioned for Silk, and Silk. Let me tell you, Silk is one of the coolest dudes, nicest guy ever. He actually won an award for Tears of a Hustler, I believe, for
Hmm.
best series at the Ace Honors Award. So yeah, we love. Shout out to Silk. We love Silk. Yeah, he's a cool dude, real cool dude. He and Leo Sullivan. Leo, you did Gangster's Daughter 3
Hmm.
as a
Yes.
cop.
Yep.
Maurice is always
Cop
a cop. So yeah.
background.
So trust me, here in Atlanta, you have several filmmakers who are constantly working, and they really do send the auditions out. If you don't get the actual speaking part, they always give you opportunity for background, and they pay for those. So we appreciate Leo, Silk, Maya Speller. He did a movie for Maya Speller,
Oh,
Mirrored
Two of
Live.
them. Two of
Yeah,
them.
Maya Speller is another female filmmaker. She's got one coming out now. She did Parasite 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, it's some great filmmakers here in Atlanta that do really good work.
and to Dr. Maya Spiller, she does what Terry McMillan would do, which is bakes,
Yeah.
write the books, and then she
Yep.
will basically create the film based off of the novel. So shout outs to Dr.
Absolutely.
Maya Spiller for
Hmm.
that.
Absolutely. Yes. Mirror Lives. Maurice played the boss in Mirror Lives, and it had Brittany Passion was the lead, and
Epiphany.
Epiphany Anderson was the lead. Two beautiful girls, and they did a really good job in that. If you haven't seen it, it's called Mirror Lives. But yeah, Dr. Mara Speller is phenomenal.
And I
She's an
did
AK
Christmas Angel.
and Christmas, and she's an AKA. Even though I'm a Delta, but I'm gonna let that slide. But we love Dr. Maya Speller.
Yes, and shout outs to her for bringing real life stories that us
Absolutely.
telling
Yep.
our
Absolutely.
stories of things that have happened. Because you go
Yep.
and like she did the film Father May I. I've had the pleasure of sitting
Yes.
down with Tanya
Let's what
Maurice. Y'all know Terry T. Mouse. I've
yes.
sat down with Terry T. Mouse. I asked Terry, I said, Terry, why are you always playing these evil characters?
Just
And he
horrible.
said
I
a group
know.
of he said, I have to send y'all that interview. He said, well, you know, a group of women approached me after I was coming out of a club. I said, I'm one of those women too. I wasn't at the club, you know, approaching you, but I said, I'm going to get on your ass because you play
Exactly.
these evil. But
Exactly.
he makes it so believable. And that's what I think makes a great actor. Not only that, but he's also a filmmaker and producer as well. So again,
Yes.
being able to find that balance. So tap
And
into
Les
other
and
things too, Marcus. Definitely.
yes, absolutely. And what's Lester? What's Lester's last name? Lester
Lester
was this he was in Father
Milligan.
May I?
Yeah, he was. He
Who
was
was
on.
the lead
He was Uncle
character? I
Willie.
can't
Yes. Yes.
Uncle Willie.
He was Uncle Willie, and
Yes.
Yeah.
then you had Ezekiel,
Yeah, Lester
Brewer.
did an amazing job. He's another phenomenal actor in Atlanta, one of the nicest guys ever. So we've met. The good thing, we have met some really great people. Even though it's been a challenge, it's some really great people, some great actors that Maurice has worked with that are coming up with him at the
Hmm.
same time. And what I will always say, it's enough work for everyone in this industry. Your biggest competition is yourself. It is not anybody else. You keep doing the work, you keep showing up, keep auditioning, keep going to class, and it will come. There's too many streaming platforms out here, the Hulu, the Netflix, the Paramount Plus. Now BET is putting all their stuff on Paramount Plus. It's too much work for an actor to be competing. Because at the end of the day, the casting director has a certain look they're looking for. And it's really sometimes about a look. They can work with the acting, but it's a look they're looking for. How they cast you in a certain movie. So it's enough work for everybody. So there's no I don't see competition. His competition is becoming the best actor that he can be. That's the goal.
And that he is. And you're doing a fantastic job, Maurice. Keep doing that
Thank
with the
you.
help of
Thank you.
Latanya, the family. And we don't really see a whole lot of families chipping in and helping each other build each other's
Exactly.
career. We've seen it,
Exactly.
you know, the family dynamic, except for the Jacksons. I would say since y'all are in Atlanta, T.I. and Tiny both have had a pivotal part in helping shape their kids' careers and having to
Hmm.
manage
Absolutely.
and help them, and that's what it's a part. It takes a family collective to be able to
Yes, it
help. My
does.
mom had, I'm born in South Carolina, born and raised down here in South Carolina. My mama said, "You gonna do what now?" She wanted me to go to school and get an education. My dad was the same way, Marine vet, and they didn't know a thing about the entertainment business. But you know,
Yeah.
I've educated myself and surrounded myself with peers, and my mom
Hmm.
has been there every step of the way. There's nothing like your mom, and you know, to the
Yeah.
mothers out there supporting their kids, bringing up their
Yeah.
vision, the next generation, and we talk a lot about that and how important it is. So I think with them reimagining a different world, bringing it back as a reboot, you know, that dynamic, that family dynamic. So when I seen that Tashina and her daughter are going to be working on the show together, that's what it's all about. Because I'm pretty sure that she's helped shape her daughter's career, and that's what is that
Hmm.
family dynamic of working with one another and
Yeah.
helping manage each other's career is what is perfect. Oh, Terry's coming on your show, Faith. Yes, y'all go and check out my girl, Faith is the Substance, and collab with her. She is amazing too. And if I'm not mistaken, Faith is in Atlanta. So Faith, let them know if you're in the Atlanta area, so you can
Most
set
definitely.
y'all can set that up. Definitely, she
Exactly.
is.
Most definitely. And
So
Maurice's Instagram is at Maurice Godfrey all together, MauriceGodfrey. So definitely, please reach out, support, any advice, information you have. We are always here to listen, and whatever help, we'll take it.
and she's in the Atlanta area. And Latanya, I want to bring you back on the show so we can catch up on some Black women's
Some
issues,
girls,
some girl.
yes, yes, ma'am. We
Yes.
definitely all the things.
Oh my goodness. So this was such a great conversation. We basically talked about Black filmmakers shipping the culture, shaping the culture, and what we can do to bridge that gap with other filmmakers as well too, the up and coming next generation, because there's so many out here. It's like you and I use this analogy all the time. Going into an ice cream shop, you don't know which ice cream flavor you want to choose. It's so many. It's
Exactly.
so many
Yeah. Very, very much so.
filmmakers It's so many filmmakers out here that are coming up
Hmm.
that are creating a
Yes.
lane for themselves. And they're doing, back to Latanya's point, they're doing this independently. So
Yes.
everybody's journey is different starting off in the business. Like I said,
Yeah.
and I use this, Dwayne the Rock Johnson said what he came to Los Angeles, came into Hollywood or into business with what? Only $7 and a dream.
$7.
So you
That's right.
take
Mm.
what you have, you take that little bit of what you have, even if it's little to nothing, and you make it work for you, and you build on. Another prime example, even she's getting into Broadway. She's a Grammy Award winning singer and songwriter. Since today's show solely focused on the ATL, everybody's in the ATL. Faith, Maurice, Latanya, y'all in the ATL. I'm in South Carolina, so we got Chadwick Boseman, Viola Davis, James Brown, and if you're in the North Carolina areas, Anthony Hamilton. Each of these artists that
Yeah.
I've named, they've had to start off building their career somewhere. So
Yeah.
$7 and a, you take that, but the person I was talking about was Candy Burris from The Girl Who
Yeah.
Kissed
Yeah.
Yes.
Booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candy,
Yes.
Yeah.
a
Candy's
singer,
phenomenal. We met her. She's very nice.
Love Candy.
Love
Love
Candy. She's
Candy.
very nice. She's very nice.
and she's doing Joe Turner's Come and Gone, Cedric the Entertainer, and Taraji P Henson. So
Yep.
Broadway. Is that something that is in the cards for you, Maurice? Is that something that you guys would like to do, Latanya, Maurice, in the future?
I would love for Maurice. Maurice started out in theater. That's how he started out doing church plays, gospel plays. I would love for him to do theater. He doesn't sing, dance a little bit. Maybe in the future, we'll see where that goes. That's something I would like for him to do. He's interested in writing right now. He wrote his own script a while ago, so maybe in the future, interested in maybe producing that, getting that out, creating that for himself. But Broadway, I don't know. Maybe so. You just never know. You never know. But yeah, Candy is an example of she's doing the damn thing. She just did her own show and Juliet in Broadway, and now she's producing this. I think there's a couple. Tyler Perry's producing it. Kadeen and Deval Ellis are also EPs on the show on Broadway with Taraji. So it's a beautiful thing. I love to see it. But yeah, maybe one day, you never know.
Who knows? Put it out there in the cards, in the universe.
Yeah.
It's gonna come to fruition. I could see that. I could see you on Broadway, Maurice. And who knows? Because Candy, she's always. I mean, she did August Wilson's The Piano Lesson, and now it's Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Make sure y'all go and check that out. We need to be supporting all of the black arts right now. We have to
Yes.
pour,
Yes, we do.
and in these times, we have to pour into each other and our creativity, because we have creativity up to the nines of so much what we can do, whether it's music, whether it's film. And Candace, she's excelled all of that, from writing to now doing her own,
Mhm.
as Latanya just said, now doing Broadway and Juliet and so many others. So I'm
Mhm.
seeing that in the future for you is Broadway theater. So I'm putting it out there in
All
the
right.
universe. I like to
That's right. We
manifest
claiming it.
things. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. But also, I love being on television too, man. I love television. Maybe I can get me some action pack, or maybe I can be the next Action Jackson, like Carl Weathers. Maybe I can, if they want to do a reboot of that, I'll be happy to audition for it and take it. Long as it's a good payday too, actually.
Put it out there. It's one actor
Yeah.
that I sat and he said that he wanted, a lot of shows are being reimagined. That was actually going to be my next question for you. We could see that. Could y'all see Maurice Faith? Could y'all see Maurice in a Action Jackson live? Because remember, Queen Latifah did the Equalizer. It was
Yeah.
Denzel, wasn't it, that did the film? But then
Yeah.
Queen
Yes.
Latifah
Yeah.
did the Equalizer
The
show.
TV series.
So
Yeah.
who
Hmm.
knows? Put it out there in the
Hmm.
universe and make it happen. And it was one actor I sat with. He said he wants to do a reimagining or a reboot for Alfred Hitchcock. And I said, I so could see that. And
Hmm.
he's in the
Yeah.
UK. So I told him, I said, I so could see that, because you would embody his personality, that same funny,
Hmm.
quirky. My mom
Yeah.
was doing my hair one day. And we were sitting there
Yeah.
watching an episode, and Maurice and Tanya, when I tell y'all I was cackling the entire time. This man was sitting in the bathtub. He was always doing something funny. It shows like
Yeah.
that, and I Love Lucy. And
Hmm.
we're seeing a lot of producers tap into that, going back to giving that nostalgia, and I think that's what a lot of people want. So I could see that in Action Jackson uh
Yeah.
reboot or show. Who
Yeah.
knows?
hmm Because me and my wife, we was talking about, I want to be a TV series regular on something. I mean, I take it as a cop detective, and I've been kind of look like just speaking into existence, man. And I take that, but also I take a movie as well. If they want to redo, like I said, Action Jackson, I take it as a movie, and long as it's good payday, either a TV series or a movie, either or, because sky's the limit for me right now. Sky's the
Yes, and
limit.
where it might seem like the dry spell is more coming. We talk about the power of manifestation all the time here on my
Yes.
platform. And it was one actor that I sat down with, and I kid y'all not, he said, Miss Stevie, I'm working on something. And I didn't know what it was until I seen the trailer. He dropped a hint. He said it's on a hip hop group. So I said I
Oh,
had to put two and two together. So the next few days after we did our conversation and our interview, guess where he was? He was in the trailer for the Wu Tang Saga. So I'm like,
yeah, that's what I figure.
wait a minute, this is what he was telling me about. Because when you're under Latanya Miles, y'all know when you're under contract, you can't really give certain details
Yeah,
away
you
about
can't
the
really talk
project.
about it.
So you can
Mm-mm.
only give clues. And he said a hip hop group, two and two. And I'm watching television and I see the trailer. So it just goes to show you the power of manifestation. When you audition for a role, you go and you audition for that role. And you
Yes,
land that role because there's so many people that could be going for it as well too. And you're
exactly,
going
exactly.
and a lot of
Hmm
people could be going for that role or next to lead, and it's just like you're not
hmm
going to get it right off the bat. And the next thing you know, boom, you get a phone when you're down going down the highway or doing something. Come and read for this
hmm
part. So
Yep.
trust. Where it might seem like nothing now is something greater that is going to come later down the line, and
Yep.
that's what I feel.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We'll definitely take it. We'll definitely take it.
Hmm
Yep. I'm always like positive vibes. I'm always affirmations. I wrote it down on a piece of paper 3 years ago. I'm like, you're gonna be a series regular on Tyler Perry. I don't know what it's gonna be, but you're gonna be a series regular. And I'm like, I claim that. I'm like, it might sound crazy to some people, but again, I understand the business now. I'm learning more each day. We do the work, continue to show up, and it'll happen. I truly believe that.
Absolutely, and you can get just what you wanted from that. And also tap into that directing. Tap into that with y'all having children. Latanya, Maurice, y'all know where I'm going. That next generation, and I'm pretty sure they are already picking on to that. Help
Yep.
them start their
Yep.
companies.
Absolutely.
Tyrone said that he works for his mom. His mom is a playwright, and he
Mm,
works for her production company. So more black women, which is I keep stressing that enough because we don't really see it. Everything again is male dominated and male
that's
centered,
right.
and we have to
That's
make
right.
sure that we're pushing female filmmakers out here. So his mom has a company, and he writes and works with his mother. So y'all know where I'm going. That next generation, these kids, they figure out because when they're graduating out of high school, they always want to know what is going to be the next game plan. And
hmm
Exactly.
Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, they use this. Their daughter, I think it's Sasha Malia, one of the two, they are majoring in film. So you never
Yeah.
know. That next
mm
thing that's coming up, y'all two are the mentors managing their careers and helping them out. And then they're helping their kids out. And then that legacy goes on and you're building that generational wealth. So that's what we got to do. We got to tap into if you're in the entertainment business, you got to tap into a little bit of everything. And that's why I'm so
Yes,
thankful
you
for
do.
women like Nina Stacks, Kendra,
Yes.
uh,
Rainy
and
King. Yep.
Dr. Maya Speller, all of these black women who are out here making a name for themselves. Not just them, but even in mainstream. Regina King, Viola
Yep.
Davis, has
Absolutely.
writing and directing and producing. Angela Bassett is another. So I mean, they're living proof that if you create a vision, you put it down on paper, as Latanya just said. And I love to create vision boards, girl. So when I tell you, I'm always in what I want it to be, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. What is going to be my next step? You have to start from plan A to plan B. And my
That's
mom
right.
said, if you're going to do this, you make sure you invest. And as parents
Exactly.
always do, both of y'all being parents, Maurice and Latanya, my mom has told me the same thing. She said, if this is something you want to do, you're going to have to learn to save. And me being in my 20s, at that time, I was very irresponsible. Yes, I went through an irresponsible phase, but I must say now being 32, you
You
develop
still
a
young. You
mindset.
Yeah.
Yes,
hmm
girl. A lot of maturity now But
Yeah,
at that age in my 20s, I want to say 19, heading into the verge of 20, I was slowly but surely discovering what I wanted to do with my life and with my career. And that's how Style by Stevie came about. My mom said, if you're going to do this, don't, your parents always encourage you. They say, don't have to do a job on something. And
that's right.
you make sure that you invest, save money. Our parents always encouraged us. In the black household, we know about the piggy banks. We know about the piggy
That's right.
banks where you
That's
have
right.
money stuffed up under the cushion. You'd have money in the piggy bank, and my brother had this hideous clown piggy bank I can remember from my childhood. And I said, thank the Lord he broke that thing, because Lord knows I couldn't stand it. But
Exactly.
that was us saving our money. We would get $5 for allowance. So we always, you got to invest in your future. If filmmaking
Yep.
is something that you want to, technology, kids, Latanya, kids are now creating films on their phones, girl.
They are. They are. And making
Hmm.
money doing it too.
You have to
Hmm.
start somewhere. Invest in that
Absolutely.
technology, invest in that equipment as well, because it's not cheap. Especially if
Nope.
you're doing this independently. Trust me, I know this as an independent creator hosting my own platform. I'm not backed by CBS or
Yes.
Viacom. I'd love to be where Oprah is on her status and have a national syndicated. But I said, you know what? Independent is because I like full range and creative control.
Exactly.
And I
And full
love,
control.
you know,
Absolutely.
yes. And that's the beauty of being an independent filmmaker. So to anybody out there, Latanya and Maurice, what would you tell to independent filmmakers and actors as well? What would y'all tell them?
I would just say, just continue to do the work. Don't give up. Because again, this is a tough business. You're
Sure
not going
is.
to come down here and be a millionaire overnight. You have to do the work. There is no shortcuts to this business. Do the work. Continue to take classes. Invest in yourself. Invest in some really good headshots. There are some great acting coaches down here. Carl Kennedy is a great one. Mari started out with
Oh,
Dwayne Boyd at first, and then we have people that like Will, what's Will's last name? Will helped us to get
Hmm.
an agent, his first agent. But the most important thing I can
Todd
say,
Anthony.
Todd Anthony acts, another great acting coach. The most important thing I can say is invest in yourself, believe in yourself. You're going to have 1,000 no's, but when you get that one yes, that's what you're waiting on. Don't give up, because sometimes the reason the actors don't make it because they give up too soon. You have to continue to keep pushing through, and eventually it will land when you least expect it. So my biggest thing is just don't give up, believe in yourself, and keep doing the work. And don't focus on what other people are doing. Focus on yourself. Focus on being the best actor you can be. That's the most important thing I can say. Maurice.
I mean, to piggyback on what she said, man, I mean, keep on going and keep on grinding because this is a tough business. It's not easy. It doesn't come overnight. I mean, you got to continue to grind, take classes, and get better and better at your craft. And for all new actors coming in, I would advise them to do theater. That's your training ground. And see, me, I did theater, and also I did stand up comedy. Those are my foundation of my roots of being on stage. Of engaging with my audience. So those are my training grounds. Theater and doing stand up comedy. But my main thing was to get on TV and focus in becoming a good actor. But times are gonna be tough. You have to keep on going, keep on pushing and push through. Yeah, it's gonna be some sleepless nights, and at times you're not gonna be able to afford a meal. You might have to room with one of your roommates, but that's the life of an actor. That's the training stage. You just have to keep on going and going, believe in yourself, and always keep God first and keep praying on it, man, and don't give up and just keep pushing, man. And eventually, it'll happen. That one, yes, it's coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. Just keep on grinding and keep on pushing and keep on doing the work.
and that's again the power of hard work and manifestation. And to piggyback off of what you
Yes.
just said, Maurice, you reminded me of an actor um, that I've had the pleasure of meeting. This at in Atlanta, and this was in 2012. That would be Marlon Wayans. How he transitioned from doing
Yeah.
comedy to now
Yeah.
taking on more serious and dramatic roles, which is what we
Yeah.
see you in, in more
Hmm.
dramatic. And that's the
Yeah.
thing, they typecast black actors as portraying one specific role in the
Exactly.
business. And it's just like, again, to Latanya's point, where we were talking about uh, a different world and shows like the Cosby Show. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for black families, they put us in one specific box. You know, it's that, but it's like no, no, no. We're so much more than that. You didn't
Exactly.
see a black female attorney and a doctor on television. It was shows
Exactly.
like the Jeff Good Times, y'all.
Mhm.
That was black. That's black culture, deeply in black
Yeah.
culture. Sanford and
Hmm.
Son.
Yeah. Good
We
times.
watched
Yeah.
Sanford. We watch Martin. We all of these shows have helped shape black culture,
Hmm.
and it's just
Yes.
like
Fresh.
each family is not a
Hmm.
monolith. We're not a monolith. And it show, and even if you go to the further in the '90s, live shows like Living Single, where it's like
And fresh.
everybody,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. And Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That was a show too because
yes,
his uncle was a successful councilman. Then he became a judge. You see what I'm saying?
yep,
Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That was one of the shows that I really looked at too, man, because I like Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And as you see, Will Smith, he broke out from that and he has had a very successful career, man. He's been very successful, man. I mean, so it's just, I mean, hey, and that's a black show that I really enjoy watching too. I sure did, as well as the Cosbys and the Jeffersons and Good
okay.
Time and and Martin. Sure did.
Don't forget 227. Y'all know
And two two
227 was my
seven,
show.
yes.
I it's either
Hmm.
Sandra,
Yeah.
Mary, or Pearl or Rose, and
And,
I would
and, and
probably be Pearl, all up in everybody's business, sitting in that window.
yeah,
So
and Brenda and Brenda and Countess Vaughn, because she started out on 227 too. She sure did. And then she got the Parkers, whatever. I think years later after that. So and I watched the Parkers too.
yeah.
That was very funny. Monique and Dorian Wilson, Professor Ogilvy. Oh yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
yes. Again, these shows help shape black culture and they
Ah,
showcase black
yes, yes.
families, you know, in a
Hmm.
different light. And
Hmm.
fun too. Like they Family Matters, all of these shows have helped raise
Yes.
us. And I'll be
Hmm.
Mary. You thought I was gonna say Sandra. No, I mean, I could be like a Sandra, but I'm a little bit more of a Pearl. I get all up in your business. I'm gonna sit in that window right there.
God rest her soul, man. And a lot of actors they have passed on, but they are
Yes.
immortalized through their shows and their movies. Hmm. To help shape black culture, whatever. I will say that. They're not forgotten. May be gone, but not forgotten. And even Spike Lee's movie, "Do the Right Thing." Ozzie Davis
Ruby D.
and Ruby D. Hmm.
Oh,
Yep. Hmm.
they
Oh
went
yeah.
everywhere together. Again, so
Yes,
y'all
they did.
remind me of Oz and Ruby because y'all are both working together, help shaping each other's career. And if you turn on a Spike Lee film, you would see Ozzy and
Ozzie.
Ruby
Yep.
together. And then we saw Ozzy and but he was by himself. He was in Dr. Doolittle with Eddie Murphy. If you guys don't know that,
Hmm.
he played the dad in that film. So I mean, it's always important that we work collectively together. You don't really see
Hmm.
as a team, collectively working on filmmaking, producing. But now we're seeing that. And yes, Jack A, Mary. Yes, you thought
Yeah.
I was going to say Sandra Alvin. I told you I'm more of a Pearl. I want to get in the
Hmm.
business. I want to get in the I'm gonna be sitting right there in that window. But see, they tried to they rebooted something like that, but the person who's doing it is Lunel. Lunel is
Hmm.
Pearl, the comedian
Mm.
Lunel, and she is funny.
Okay.
She's off the chain. So I said that is perfect for her.
Hmm.
So I could see y'all working on something together, Maurice. And Lunel is the truth. She will give you a run for your money.
I
And
bet
work. I'll say this about working
she will. I bet she will. And
working
also,
with comics.
yeah, yeah. And also, I like Marla Gibbs too on 227 because she just told it straight, no
Oh,
chase or anything. She just told it straight up. I mean, and had you just rolling, whatever.
And she's still acting. She's like what,
Yep.
92, something like
Now
that,
she's 90. She's 98, I
and
think.
still acting, still out here doing her thing.
and her
Hmm.
daughter too. Her daughter
She sure
Angela.
is.
So I'm like,
Yep.
they're working together. That's a
Yep.
collective effort. Again, family. So today's show is
That's
centered
right.
around family and what it's like working together because sometimes you bump heads, but at the end of the day, you always come back and we're just like, what we got to do to go back to the drawing board. So shout outs to her daughter
Exactly.
Angela. She's She just recently did an interview, I think with CBS, ABC, one of the two,
Oh, okay.
and she
Yeah,
looks amazing. So shout
that's
outs
good.
to Miss Marla. Give her all of her
Yes.
flowers.
Oh
Living legends.
yes.
She's
Yes.
still here. Yeah.
Oh yes. Marla Gibbs. She was one of my favorites besides Sandra.
Yep. Yeah, I'm more of a Sandra girl. I'm a little fast, so I like to be like Sandra.
And
Oh,
she said,
Roxy Roker. Yes, the Jeffersons.
"Oh, look at that
Yes.
call."
Yep. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Yes. So there you have it, Latanya and Sandra. I'm Pearl. I'm like I said, I'm a little nosy. I want to get the scoop. So I'm gonna be sitting in that windowsill right there. You were either character. Everybody had their own character that they were, even for shows
Absolutely.
like Living Single. You were
Oh,
either
absolutely.
Maxine Shaw, you were
Yep.
either
I was
Khadijah,
Regine. Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
I'm Regine, most definitely.
Yep.
Regine did a lot of hair. Well, she said that character she wore a lot of wigs on the show, so she
She
said
sure
I'm not about
did.
to damage my hair, but each woman on the show held their own and that comedic timing. I was Maxine. I was always Maxine. Came in quick with it. Kyle gave
Yes.
it to her, and she gave it right back to him. That's the
Right
banter
back to
that
him.
doing the
Yes.
sitcom. You have to be able to when somebody throws that ball at you. I think it was Tashina Arnold saying this. When you're working with the comic, and Maurice knows this because he's done stand-up comedy, and I tell you, it's like
Uh-huh.
when that ball is thrown your way, and they'll
Yep.
try to tag you and make you tap out. When they do something to
Hmm.
try to throw you off, and Alvin can attest to this. We have like a comic that in the group that is in our friend circle, and his name is Bubs the God. And he will do certain things on the panel when we are talking, having our serious conversations, and he'll try to distract me. Working with a comic is hard, y'all.
It's hard.
So
Yeah.
let's your husband has done comedy. What advice would you give to somebody on working with the comic? Because it is hard. I'm telling you, he broke me on that panel, girl.
Yeah, you can't let them throw you off. I mean,
Because they were.
they try so hard to just throw you out of character, but it's a lot. You learn from them too. You learn how to piggyback. You know how. I mean, that
Hmm.
teaches you improv really well because
Hmm.
a lot of these sets, you have to have the improv skill. You have to be able to drop it real quick,
And pick
know
it
what to
back.
say.
Yep.
Have snappy comebacks. You got to be on. You got to be ready, and that's a good thing. So even though they drive you crazy, you can learn a lot from them too.
Because Eddie Murphy's the king of that.
Yeah.
When you
Yep.
work with Eddie Murphy, boy, whoo,
Here you go.
And
yeah. When you,
being
I
able to
mean,
play, and you mentioned Eddie Murphy. I
yeah.
think who was
He,
it? She asked him. She said, "How were you able to play all of these different characters?" And if y'all watched The Nutty Professor, y'all have
yeah.
seen the characters. You were either the
Hmm.
grandma, you were the uncle, you were either Cletus, or you were either
Hmm.
Anna, the mama.
Hmm.
I mean, or Sherman. Everybody has a little bit of that in each and every one of us. And the thing
Hmm.
about comedy, you're working with the comic. It is about timing. It is about that
It
comedic
is.
timing. And on shows where you would see them roast each other like Pam and Martin on Martin
Hmm.
or Kyle
Hmm.
and Maxine on Living Single, that banter,
Hmm.
that exchange, being able to give it and
Yeah.
throw it right back and roast each other. You got to be quick on your feet, as Latanya said. But
You
Bubs,
do.
yes, Bubs he knows how to read the room. If you are a comic, you know how to read the room and just
Yes,
from
you
up
do.
to down. You don't even write
Hmm.
things down. Sometimes it just comes from the dome. Like
It's
most comics,
just
they
come out
sit
the top of your head. Hmm. Yep. Yep.
right there
I mean,
material like go ahead, Maurice. I'm sorry.
yeah. I mean, comedy is, it's just, it's instantaneous. I mean, it's just like your brain is just, it's all over the place. Like when I worked at the water department, it was this guy named Dwayne Jones, whatever, and the only thing he ate was peanut butter and jelly. And so I would tease him about that. I'd be like, "Here come peanut butter and jelly, white bread, not wheat bread," and the whole office would be falling on the floor laughing. I'm like, "Here come the jelly man, y'all," and he'd be so mad, but it'd be so funny though. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just, but it was just comedy though, because everybody, they'd be like, "Oh Lord," so. And I would get him every day. I'd be roasting him. I'd be like, white bread, not wheat bread, huh? Jelly man, here he come, whatever. The whole always be laughing, man. But it's comedy though. I mean, you can't really structure comedy. Comedy is instantaneous and it's outrageous, man. It is whatever comes to your brain. You just speak it, or you could tell stories, whatever. It's just that's what it is. So when I was kind of doing stand up, I had a routine, of talking about girlfriends, experiences I had with them, and then some situations with kind of with my older sister, whatever, that kind of got some problems, whatever, man. So, and I would talk about that, and the audience would love it, but it was a story. So that was my act, you know, my family, and then Dwayne Jones, whatever, and everybody thought it was hilarious. So, but that's just what it is. That's comedy for you, though. But then
And
I
you just
wanted,
said the key word,
you said what now?
storytelling, and I'm gonna get to
Storytelling,
that in a
yeah,
minute.
you gotta have a story, yeah. Gotta have a story, and that's what makes Kevin Hart hilarious because he talks about his
Oh yeah.
family and experiences. He's super funny. I mean, just talking about when he took his family to eat whatever, and since he became rich, how they started treating him, whatever. Talking about, oh, you don't eat sesame seed buns now because you rich. You don't eat that no more. Oh, he too good to eat that. He think he's special now. He can't. He's better than us now. He don't eat sesame seed buns. When he was poor, he ate that. And I'm like, yeah, he's doing the voices, whatever. And I was saying, boy, he is so silly, but that's comedy though, and it's so funny, whatever. It just it's funny, man. I mean, I love it. I love Kevin Hart, man. And matter of fact, I met him. I was doing background on a movie he was doing called Die Hard, and Kevin Hart is one of the nicest guys that I met, man. Him and The Rock. The Rock is a very nice guy too. I mean, I did a movie with him called Red One. I was background and I got to interact with him for a minute. So you know that was a lot, man. I mean, just both of those guys. I love both of them because very kind and very nice.
And
Hmm.
go back to what you just said. When you're doing comedy, you're centering it around your family. You're telling stories
Yes.
that other people
Ah,
can relate to,
stories.
and that's
Yes.
personal. And
Hmm.
when I think of comics that are able to do that, of course, Kevin Hart. But I'm gonna take y'all back. You know, I love this man, and I think he was genius at doing it. Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was able
Oh
to
yeah.
incorporate, yeah, family into his comedy as well too. Martin will
Hmm.
sometimes do it. Jamie
Hmm.
Foxx will always do it. His daughter, he'll bring her in the comedy skits. Sherry Shepherd, she does it. So I mean, being
Hmm.
able to pull from a place that is real, that's what people look for. And even with act as an actor, you have to
Yeah.
make that character so believable that they can
Yes,
either
you
love
do.
your character or hate
Or
your
they gotta
character.
hate you.
And trust,
Hmm.
they'll walk
Yeah.
up to you, Marty's, and they will tell you at the end of the show. They did it with Terry T. Mouse. Like I said, with the group of women that approached him, they said, "Oh,
Hmm.
we can't stand your character." The audience will let you know.
Yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah, because I matter of fact, very true. When you sold your character and you became the character, when people come up to me, even when I might be at a gas station in Atlanta, you Angel's daddy from Angel and Demon. You played your part as Chief Jeff Conley, and your daughter was so hard hit. I just wanted to whoop her, but you played your part, and are you a cop for real? I'm like, no, I'm an actor. And if you bought that I was a cop for real, then I did my job as an actor, making you believe who this character was on this piece of paper, and that's my job, to sell the character and make you believe the character was real for you. And I did my job as an actor because, some people, you a cop for real? I'm like, no. Well, every time we look on the TV, you playing a detective on Fatal Attraction or, not enough, just things we seen you in. I'm like, well, that's kind of what I get, man. So I got to take what I can get, man, as still a upcoming actor, man. When you got to pay bills, you got to take what you can get. So but hey, I get that a lot. You Angel's daddy from Angel and Demon, we love it. I watch the movie 4, 5, 6 times a day, and I'm like, I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you guys still supporting Nina and watching Angel and Demon. We love it. I mean, everywhere I go now, and if people be staring, it's something that it's Angel and Demon because
Never
my wife,
seen Dennis.
she'll say, it'll be a cook. Man, you look familiar. Like we was here in Kansas City. We eat me and my wife, and the cook came out. He said, "Man, you look familiar." And so I said, "Let me guess, you watch Angel Demon?" He said, "That's what I seen you in. You the daddy in Angel and Demon." And my wife right there. I said, "See, Tanya, this what happens now. They know me from Angel and Demon. Yep." And then some people see me on Fatal Attraction as a detective. Doing those little skits and stories that I do for Fatal Attraction, but now it's just mainly Angel and Demon. I get you Angel's daddy and you was the chief of police. So I get that a lot now, man. I mean, I welcome it, man, and I don't shy from it. And people want to take pictures and say they still watching, man, and I'm loving it. All I say is keep watching the movie, man, and supporting us, supporting Nina Stacks, whatever she drops and come out. We appreciate that, and highly love it. Highly favorite.
Absolutely. And oh my God, it's 5:05, y'all, and I can't keep Maurice them. They're headed to their destination. They have something coming, but this conversation is good. We done went over an hour. So as we're coming to a close, because I want to bring Tanya back on the show for some girl talk,
Yeah.
get into
Yes.
some things. But ladies first, Tanya, what would you tell anybody on following their passion or their dream? What would you tell them?
The biggest thing is just do not give up. Whatever you feel like you can do, if you can do it where you don't get paid for it, you know, that's a dream you have. Continue to try and go for that.
Hmm.
We only get one chance at this thing called life. You only
That's
get
right.
one chance at it, so you have to make the most of it. Do what gives you joy. Do what makes you happy. Make sure that you take care of yourself. We're always out here trying to help other people, but make sure that you fulfill your own dreams and your own destiny. So I would just say keep going, whatever it is. Don't give up on it. Don't write it off. Just, you never know when it can happen. So put a little affirmation on paper, do a little vision board, put it up there and look at it every day and say, I'm going to do this. And eventually you keep saying it, the universe will make a way for you to do it.
Yep. Same here. Just keep on going, keep pushing, and keep believing, and keep on praying on it and serving the good Lord, man, and He'll guide you through. That's all
That
I have.
part, and I'm gonna add on to what Maurice just said, because my grandmother, she's 82 years old, and she told me doing this platform, she always tells me, she said, don't get too big, because I'm pretty sure we've all heard it growing up. Don't get
Hmm.
too
Yeah.
big that you forget
Hmm.
where you come from and the ones who
That's
helped
right.
you get to at that
That's
point
right.
in your life. Because just
That's
as
right.
fast as you got it, God has a way of humbling
He,
people,
he
and
gonna bring you
that's for
back down.
sure. Yep,
Bring you down. Bring
that's
you
what she
down.
told me.
Hmm.
Put
You,
him first in
you.
everything that you do.
Oh yeah, you got to, because just because you have $4 billion today, you can wake up and it'll say all your money has been frozen. Then what you gonna do? Then you back to I'm gonna sign autographs for free and take pictures because I don't know how I became broke. How did that happen? Oh my God, I lost $4 billion. And some people lose their mind. They go kill themselves and all that stuff, man. I mean, that's why you gotta keep your hand in God's hand and keep your eyes looking at God, because things happen, man. You wake up $4 billion and this same minute you broke. It happens. But that's God's way of getting you attention, man.
Exactly, Chris. Exactly.
Always.
Don't act brand new. Yeah, my mom
I'm
will tell
telling
me
you,
that too.
yeah.
She said, and parents will remind you real quick, especially your
Yeah.
mothers. They'll remind
Oh
you. My
yeah.
mom be like, don't get smart.
Hmm.
You ain't you ain't too
Yeah, yeah,
big for your business.
yeah.
They'll remind
Hmm.
you real quick. My
Oh
mother's a
yeah,
Libra,
yeah,
October 7th, so she'll remind me real quick. Girl, pull it
yeah.
down a little bit. Your parents, you ain't grown. You might be grown, but they'll pull you all the
Hmm.
way together.
Yeah, my mother tell me that too. She was like, let me tell you something. Before you were what you became in Atlanta, you was my damn son. You was my boy.
Mm,
Don't you forget that. So when she tell me that, I'm like, that Hollywood and all the movies I've done, it don't mean anything. Because when my mother tell me before you was what you became in Hollywood and Atlanta and you worked for the wire department, you was my son and you was my boy and you still are. I said, okay, mom, I hear you. So I get that. She tells me that. Hmm.
there's nothing like that support. Today's show was
Oh
solely
yeah,
around
most definitely. Most
family
definitely.
and working
Hmm.
together. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, make sure y'all go and check out Angels and Demons. Y'all support Nina
Please,
Stacks and everything that Maurice Godfrey is doing. Shout outs to his
please.
beautiful, lovely wife, Latanya.
Thank
I done made
you.
a new sister friend over here. So we're gonna talk, Latanya. I'm gonna text you because I'm gonna send you some dates.
Please
I would
do.
love to have you for some girl
Hmm.
Yes,
talk because
Yeah.
it's
absolutely. I'm free.
always great to hear a perspective from black women. We need to see more of that. Whereas always
Absolutely.
cattiness, they picture us out to be pitted against each other. When I do my girl talks, I center it solely around how Black women can collectively work together. So we're gonna be setting something up, my sis.
Absolutely. I'll be here. Just let me know.
Definitely, I'm gonna text you those dates. And y'all,
Okay.
Fashion Dog, let everyone know where they can follow you guys at Maurice.
You can follow me on Instagram at Maurice.Godfrey.com. I mean, Maurice Godfrey, whatever. You can just look me up on Instagram. I'm there.
And then Latanya Godfrey. Same thing, Latanya Godfrey. Yep. Facebook and Instagram is the same. Latanya Godfrey and Maurice Godfrey. And thank you again for this opportunity. We really appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much.
You too, girl. And I look forward to chatting with y'all again. I'm gonna bring y'all both back on the show. So
Okay.
y'all make
Okay.
sure
Okay.
y'all and supporting them, support Black filmmakers. Joining me tomorrow, since we were in the realm of talking about Black filmmakers, we have the beautiful Candice Renee joining me. So y'all make sure y'all tune in as well for that filmmaker and actress. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at Fourth Fashion Dolls. And thank y'all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Latanya and Maurice.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all. I have a good
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
you
Okay.
too.
Okay.